Hey guys, Jnic here. It's been a minute. So as you guys know, I've made a lot of Trackmania tutorials in the past, and I want to get back to it. And a lot of people are still asking me, hey, what can I do, Jnic, to get better at the game? What are some things that I can improve on? And so I thought I'd make a top 5 tips that I can give you guys to improve a Trackmania quite easily. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is where you should be looking. It's a mistake to look at your car all the time. You really shouldn't be doing it. What you should be looking at is ahead at the corners of where you're about to drive. So here I'm going to be looking at this corner, then I'm going to shift focus to the next corner. And that is because people who are good at the game, they will not need to look at their car to know what position their wheels are in. They have a feeling for it. So what I would suggest that you guys do is that you play the game enough without looking at the car and try to look ahead on the field to try to get as close to these corners as possible. And it's just a learning process at this point. Here, I'm looking all the way over here. I'm not even looking at where I'm driving. I'm actually looking over here because I need to hit this corner super fast because you need to keep 5th gear here if you want champion medal on this track. So that is something I'd suggest you guys do. Try to stop looking at your car and try to start looking literally anywhere else to improve your perception and improve your feeling of controlling the car. So for this next tip that I'm going to give you guys, it has to do with air mechanics. So on this map, there's a jump where if you full speed the jump, you are going to over jump. You're going to jump too far. And there's a few different ways you can avoid that. So here, I have a line that could allow me to go sideways and land super early, but that's going to give me a wrong line for the next right-hander that's coming up down here. So what you actually have to do in this situation and in many other maps is that you're forced to slow down. You have too much speed for this jump. And the way that you slow down for a jump is to not do it in the air. If I jump here and I slow down in the air, I'm going to lose such a tremendous amount of speed. So as you could see, what I actually do here, let's see it again. What I actually do is that I release here. I release here and I slow down before the jump. And then I accelerate all the way through the air time. If you ever find yourself slowing down during a jump or braking during a jump, you're doing the jump wrong. There's either a different line where you can take everything full speed, or you have to brake/accelerate before the jump happens. Otherwise, you lose a ton of speed. So that is the second tip. Do not brake or release in the air. Back here on the same map for the third tip, which I would consider the most important mechanic in Trackmania, and you've heard this a lot of times before, it's gears. Now, I'm not going to go super in depth about the gears. I'm going to give you one tip that I think is the most important thing you can do to control your gears. If you want a more in-depth guide, I've already uploaded it. Link to the video is right here. But the reason gears are so important is because it is the single most important mechanic that's going to increase your time and increase your efficiency and skill on maps that are dirt, grass, or plastic. So look right here. Okay, I'm going to slow down the play. You can see I'm about to gear up here very soon. As I hit 314 speed, I'll gear up around 314 speed. I'll gear up to 5th gear. But before I gear up to 5th gear, I release my steering to make sure that my car starts lining up and driving straight. And then by the time my car is driving straight, I'm going to gear up to 5th gear. And that is super important because if I drift while I gear up, it is going to reduce my speed tremendously. And I'm just going to show you right now how that looks here. I'm going to drive against my Ghost right now, and I'm going to show you the difference in speed. I'm going to try to take the same line my Ghost does, except I'll get a bad gear. Boom, minus 18 speed. That is an insane amount of speed to lose, and I did the exact same line that my PB is doing. I'm doing it one more time for you guys. Look at this. Going for the same line, but I had got a bad gear. So, again, and the only difference is that I'm sliding while I'm gearing up. Now I'll try to do the same line, but I won't slide. Boom, minus 3. Obviously, I got a little bit of a worse line. My PB is my PB, but it's a lot less speed to lose. So that's the trick. Do not gear up while you're drifting. If you absolutely have to gear up and it looks like it's in the middle of a turn, it probably means that you're doing the turn wrong. You should either gear up before the turn, which I think is the most likely situation, or you have to force a lower gear or force holding lower gear, which, you know, is also an option. If you want more, again, more about the gears, watch the video I did about the gears. So the next couple of tips here that I'll be showing you guys has to do with Cup of the Day and the Cup of the Day qualifiers, because I see a lot of people asking me questions about how to get better divisions, and here are some of the biggest mistakes that I see people do for Cup of the Day that you can correct to hopefully get a better division. So for this next run right now, I'm opening up a map I've never played before. I don't have any rank, I haven't played it, you can see up here. I've never touched the map. And I want you guys to see if you can guess what my mistake that I am doing is, right? So I'm driving the map. Just imagine this is a Cup of the Day qualifier. I'm driving the map. See if you can find the mistake that I'm about to do that you guys would, that I would say is one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of people do, right? I'm driving the map. I'm driving the map. I'm driving the map. Okay? The mistake was restarting. So the biggest mistake I see a lot of people do is they restart too many of their runs. I know that it sucks being behind your PB, and I know that it sucks not having the perfect start to a run or whatever, but if you don't run through the entire map at least 2 to 3 times in the beginning of a Cup of the Day, chances are you're not going to learn the map at all. And even if you feel like, oh, I did this wrong, respawn from the previous checkpoint and do the same turn again. And if you have a better idea of I can do this turn better, just respawn again and do the turn and try out the different line that you were thinking about. It is so much more efficient to get good at a map by like a little bit slowly by respawning a lot instead of trying to get a bunch of mediocre attempts where you don't know the map well enough. So that's my second tip for you guys. The biggest mistakes that I see is just people getting stuck in respawn loops because they want a perfect run. Don't do that. So for the last mistake here, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm definitely guilty of this myself, but let me share it with you anyways. Most likely the reason you don't like to drive certain types of maps is because you feel like you're bad at them, and I understand that. It's literally the reason I don't like ice. But I can't tell you the amount of times that I've had a great map for me, and there's that one turn that I really dislike, and it ruins the rest of the map or the rest of the flow for me. It could be an ice turn for me, it could be maybe sausage for you. So this map is a prime example. A lot of bobsleigh players were super happy when this map came on because they see this, they see one bobsleigh turn, and then they see another bobsleigh turn, and you're like, yes, this map is just for me. It's my perfect map. And then we get into something like this, reactor boost, with an uphill, with a tech slide afterwards, and all of a sudden they don't like the map anymore. But this is a bobsleigh map with a little bit of tech mixed into it. All of a sudden you get back to the ending of the tech section, and all of a sudden there's more bobsleigh to come, and then yay, the map is great again. But you dislike that middle section. If you play a lot of different environments in Trackmania, you're gonna get so much cross experience from different surfaces, from different techniques, that it's gonna help tremendously with so many maps. I can't explain to you how it works, but the experience you get from playing many different maps will manifest in ways that I can't really explain. Because even if it's a full grass map, there's probably still gonna be a tech turn, or even it's a full sausage map, there's probably still gonna be some dirt section. I don't know. Just trust me, it's gonna help you. Now that I've pointed out 5 mistakes, why don't you watch this video over here with the gears that I talked about as well, more well edited. It's a super good video, and also subscribe. Thank you. People, hey.